much. Breathe in, breathe out. So thank you for being there. Karibu sana. This is hashtag Y in the morning. Just in case you've not gotten what we've talked about from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m., we are streaming live on our X and other platforms as well at Y254 channel. On Instagram is _Y254 channel. Personally, mine is at Brian1. Now, in this last conversation, we're delving into matters drugs and substance abuse. It's a common issue that's festering in a higher learning institution. And I'll just bring you up to speed with a recent update from NACADA, that is the National Authority for the Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse. And shockingly, it says it has revealed disturbing rise in drug and substance abuse among university students with a notable spike linked to last year's Gen Z protest. You get it? And the reason why they're saying that is because the Gen Zs believed that if they smoked weed or bang and they hit the streets, they'd be immune to the effect of tear gas. So this is why they actually, ventured into smoking weed and drugs, plus many other drugs, that host of it that come into this. This is just a recent update that was done on February 13th by NACADA, so check out their website. And in this conversation, I'm engaging Elijah Apareng. He's a student leader at Kirinyaga University, alongside Austin Wambingwa, a student leader at Technical University of Kenya. Yes. Almost said Mombasa. So karibu sana, gentlemen. I'm going to start off with you, Elijah. What you've observed from the higher learning institutions that you are, what do you believe is pushing young people to smoke weed? NACADA right here says, in fact, they're saying the Gen Z protest actually, catalyzed it and said because of the tear gas canisters, I don't know, because they are shooting directly or maybe just because of the smoke, but they're saying that again contributed a lot too. But I believe there are a host of many other issues that push young university students into like smoking weed, alcohol, and it escalates into the worst. What do you believe is the sole reason? Okay, thank you so much.
NACADA did a survey as their mandate, actually. And as far as this data is concerned, we are dealing matter of life here. We are not going to talk about the drugs or the data. 2019, COVID-19, during COVID-19, there was this alarming scale of these drugs abuse. Mostly they are parents who are using during 19 to avoid the curfew. So the parents took their drugs to the home. Yeah. These chances of children learn from their parents. So the case is parents, they have forget that children do what they do, what the parents do. But in their minds, they just think that my child will do what I say. Yeah. And I'm very much sure that there was a quote that this guy called Magoha said, the late Magoha, we are expecting children to do best, but their parents do worse during that days of COVID-19. So what is pushing actually the Gen Zs, it is the parenting setup. Parenting setup.
But I'm trying to download from what you said. How can a parent cause their child to move into a space where they are abusing drugs, taking alcohol? They say excessive consumption of alcohol is harmful to your health. In fact, it's not sold to persons below the age of 18 years. I'm trying to picture what exactly could be happening in this household that's pushing a young learner like you to start smoking weed and adding this other host of toxic drugs that will affect your mental well-being.
So in these terms, when parents bring, let's say for example, drinks from outside, you just put it on the table and maybe take it one and move away. So when the child is around that room, there is high probability the child will just take, let me just take what my mom taken. So that is whereby a child anasip kidogo.
So kuna curiosity.
There is curiosity. What if I test? What will happen? That is the curiosity now.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Let me come back to you, Austin. at TUK as a youth leader, sijui observe mambo gani left, right and center, hapa kule, hapa pale, ambayo on day-to-day basis you're likely to see in this young person that huyu msee hayuko sawa. But then there's also those friends in your circle that when unajuanga huyu msee anapenda kulewa, huyu ni mlevi. And then there's the fun part of it, yenye wanasemanga walevi, they speak the truth. In fact they say kama haulewi sijui haupendi boli, sijui unapenda, you know, it's been normalized in such a way that it's normal to actually do it. I don't know, from interaction with other Gen Z learners at your institution, what are the probable forces that are pushing them to abuse alcohol, weed, and host of many other drugs?
Thank you so much. The first thing I'll talk of the peer pressure, you know, because you'll find that maybe your friends are there taking alcohol, taking, okay, they say weed, and you'll find that these drugs, they know how they get it, so they're like they're easily available. And so you'd find that maybe in your circle, if you can't take alcohol, you know, you are like wewe umebaki nyuma, you know. So you find that people, even in parties, you'll find these comrades will converge at a point where they're selling those drugs. The alcohol especially, you know, it's the most abused drug in these higher learning institutions. Yeah, so, and you know,
say it's alcohol and weed.
Yeah,
mostly.
weed. You see, maybe someone is coming to school and the bag has some rolls, you know, and maybe they are just giving it out at 50 shillings, very cheap. So you'll find that they'll abuse it. Others will just carry alcohol in a water bottle. No.
Yeah.
So
and
you
don't even notice it.
Yeah, you can't notice because, like, I don't think a security guy will tell you to open your bottle to confirm if it's genuine water or it's alcohol, and so others will disguise the drugs in form of cookies, so the weed cookies, and sell it at a very cheap rate. You know, they are making, so this one is doing business, but at the same time it's influencing if it's their classmates or whatever, and so they tend to misuse the drugs, to abuse those drugs. Yeah.
I want you to pick your reactions on that, and then we can proceed. From just this article and this update from NACADA, in fact, down here it says, the report found out that some individuals apprehended during the protests, during the Gen Z protests last year, admitted to using drugs for the first time during the demonstrations. It was reported that 70% of the apprehended belong to higher learning institutions, and they're saying it's not just among people, young people, it's not just a campus issue right here. They're saying it's a national crisis and requires urgent collective action. And beyond that, substances like alcohol, cannabis, NACADA has also identified a rising trend in the use of synthetic drugs, and they're saying it's even difficult to detect because the chemical precursors are often legal and easily accessible, meaning that it's easy for a student at any higher learning institution to access pedi. Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Pedi wako, pedi wa huyu, you know. So it's easily accessible and it's cheaper.
Yeah.
I don't know, what do you think of the same? They're saying a protest contributed to Gen Zs smoking weed and consuming alcohol, saying that it will shield them from the toxic effect of tear gas.
Yeah,
it's funny.
Yeah,
in
like
some sort of way, you
know. It really contributed because, you see, as people were going to protest, like there's that one you've been saying, when they believed when they take this drug, they'll be immune to tear gas, you know.
And the choking effect.
Yeah, so like you know, someone will take alcohol, then like he or she goes to the streets, very lively, you know, like you don't care what's going on. You will shout there, who must what. Yeah, but it really contributed, and I think that's the time even you'd find that like in Nairobi you find there's like a lockdown. There are no other activities going on, so the youth's occupied everywhere, like, and it really encouraged, because that's also, it provided like that ground to do those things, like who will stop you, you know. Yeah, so it really contributed.
Yeah.
Yes.
But would you say there are personal challenges that a young learner could be going through at a higher learning institution that could possibly just, because I believe it could be peer pressure for a certain demographic.
Yes.
But if you are grounded in your moral values, if you came from a home where you are well raised, then what in the devil, all of a sudden, would you just switch and start abusing these drugs? There could be possibly a force or something happening to you that's pushing you into that space. Do you believe there are problems that young learners go through that push them into abusing alcohol and many other host of drugs?
Yes, a lot of problems actually, because you'll find you see, to like, when we refer to the students in the university setting, you find that most of them may be, okay, as they say, comrades. Like most of them maybe there is that financial constraints. So you find someone, maybe he or she only has maybe 50 bob for today. No, that's already a stress, and it's like wacha niende kwa upedi hata nishikishe tu ni medi, you see, aende amedi, and you say in that
na hii kumedi inasaidia ama?
Okay, personally I don't think you know,
because una medi na njaa, what do you go for? Would you go for a 50 bob, you know, meal, or kinduks? That's what they call it, kindukul ama kishash, you know?
Yeah, I actually it's better you just take food, you know, because these drugs will have their negative effects. There's nothing positive about taking drugs. So he or she will say wacha ni medi. You can just find your friend anacheka tu, anakuangalia, ana smile tu, you know, unashangaa
ama kule hostel ako tu
yeah, ametulia tu, kumbe
zimeshika,
hata anakusalimia yeye, ana mambo hata akuchokozi yeye ako tu. Like,
but are they
nice.
In that effect, are they escaping from a certain reality that could be harsh, ama it's for fun? Because I believe both of them have a cause and a reason.
Yeah, no, there's nothing you'll escape, because even after you take that alcohol, you thought you would take, then you just chill and maybe think you are now okay. When it's now ikiwa say imeisha kwa mwili wako, then like things come back to normal. So you remain there again, still with your problems, nothing solved. Yeah.
Right. Let me come back to you, Elijah. From this experience and some of these reports that are, you know, are alarming, it looks like there's a very big issue that it's not addressed in a demographic of young people out here. Maybe what would you say are issues that for a very long time they're being hidden, especially in the campus setup? Unajua tu kwa institution kuna hii shida na hii shida, lakini hata hakuna mtu atajua unless nyinyi wenyewe mkuja mseme, you know what, sisi kama mastude yenyewe msipo address na hii tutaendelea tu kufanya vile sio tunafanya. And it's true, is there, and there's universities that are actually known for some certain things, but I want to hear from you.
Okay, thank you so much. In that terms, there is that issues of drugs. There are so much available in campus. Availability of drugs.
Right. Availability.
Yeah, or availability of
accessibility.
Drugs. Accessibility. There is a high chance of a comrade to get drugs, because there is this dealers. They build the clubs or the bars or canteens nearby university premises. That is whereby now a comrade can access that drugs. So in these terms, maybe the government, they have not raised that issue very well, because when they see just a club around the university, they don't even go and fight against. But county government, they have just leave the clubs nearby universities, because they collect for taxes. They take as an advantage for what you call revenues. So we need to raise that issue. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Another issue that's
another issue is there are some of the comrades who maybe, for example, they don't have a finance actually, and we have dealers. Yeah, we have dealers around this Kenya who are actually recruiting comrades within the university.
Kukua mapedi.
Yeah, who supply those
Uh-huh.
drugs into university.
So they are paid. Ni kama kazi.
Yeah, they are paid because they are, so if now you recruit me to join that drugs suppliers, you pay comrade very well. Comrade actually don't earn a pesa, so you know.
Yeah.
So the comrade actually indulge themselves into drug supply.
Yeah.
Even most of the staff actually doing that. Yeah.
There's been a lot of updates as well, including I think kulikuwa na linked na story na wash university students being linked to other dubious and unscrupulous, dealings that some of them may end up kuawa, to maintain a certain lifestyle. But I'm also believing, as a learner in a higher learning institution, if you're guardian, if you're on help, solely on help, then you should devise your lifestyle in a way that it fits into the help. But I understand imekuwa na delays since last year.
Yes,
So probably there's been issues hapo katikati ziko nafanya, students like umemention anakuwa pedi, mwingine anaanza kuhawk vitu, wengine hadi wanaiba. But do you believe maybe it's a moral issue more than, I'd say, a societal issue? Like it stems down from where you come from, because like I said, if you are raised well, you come from a fully fledged home with values and virtues. What in the Wahala will just change your mind all of a sudden overnight? You wake up tomorrow and Elijah is conning people on the streets. I believe there could have been something that must have happened to you in between there. So I think maybe it's an individual moral issue than a societal issue. So what do you think?
So this one now is actually kuna kitu inaitwanga ujinga tu ya comrade. Ujinga. Ile comrade, you don't understand fast. There is a power of yes or no. Most of the comrades, they don't have that stand. But if you get a comrade who is actually no to say yes, that guy actually he will move on very well. So in terms of societal issues, look at the surroundings of these now social media platforms. Social media has been so much very in affect comrades sana. Maybe you find TikTok right now. There are these people drinking and they just take a drinks into and dance in a club. So you find comrade very active listening the music, the dance. So that it motivates comrade to join that maybe drugs abuse, or maybe maybe someone is joining that wash. You just see advertisement during the social media. Advertisement has been just the government should raise that issues of advertisement. They should have a limitation. Yeah.
Let me come back to you, Austin. In fact, that's a good point anyways. In Kenya, there's a way that the creative space has also, I believe, contributed to a way that, we feel entertained. Last week we were talking about a song called Nikojua Cannabis something. I think the song is called Skeleu by the guys, I think, maybe who did Angukana, no, not Angukana, yeah. But a song like Skeleu, it's talking about Nikojua Cannabis, Lamba Lolo, Sijui, and the rest of Kishash Kobash,
Yes.
Some of these songs are actually stimulating sexually, mentally, and and I saw one of the sermons by Pastor T who said, if you closely listen to some of these lyrics when you're alone, you're likely to do something, You're likely to do something with someone or with yourself here. So in Kenya, we've normalized some of these issues and the way they are creatively packaged, in as much as maybe the artist or the curator was trying to communicate a different, message from the ghetto where they come from. But the recipients of these lyrics are actually motivated to, kupanda juu ya cannabis, So when you look at that and how our society is structured, would you say some of the influences that are coming into the young minds of, let's say, young learners in higher learning institutions is because of the conditions around us? Because I'm also looking at, stress and depression. Somebody would ask you, uko university, unalipiwa fees, unatumiwa fare daily. What are you stressed about that could push you to consume something to adjust, your reality?
I see, like what you've said, the songs, so like, you wake up, something is trending, you get on Twitter, you find Kishash, you see? Yeah. So, the media, like these social media platforms, I think they are the ones actually, the main influence us in this, because after that someone will go, maybe you are listening to those songs, and there's just that pressure, even the music videos you see. So there are those TikTok challenges. You see your friends are buying maybe expensive alcohol. Yeah. Okay, maybe you can afford it.
Wanazita boti.
Yeah. So maybe you can afford, maybe you can't. So you find someone also from that pressure, like even as my friend was saying, they're recruiting campus comrades. There are these people who knows very well. Let's use an example of the bang rolls. So maybe they have recruited this comrade. They tell you, I'll be giving you 100 rolls. So these 100 rolls, you are supposed to sell them at, let's say, 100 shillings. But now you'll be giving me 60 shillings on every roll. So you see, for a comrade, you know, when you take 40 times 100, that's around 4,000. That's to a comrade, and that's a lot of money. Because you'll find that in the university setting, like the mess, the foods are very cheap. So you find maybe breakfast 30 bob, lunch maybe he can spend 50 bob. So the remaining amount he'll definitely channel it to drug abuse. And you see, most of them are doing this mostly, I think, as a result of lack of information, that awareness. You see, or maybe they just they are aware, but now they just want to neglect the truth. You see. So they'll misuse the drugs, but you come to see now the effects, the consequences of taking those drugs will be, there's nothing positive. I mean, brain damage, you see, mental illness, so depression eventually. That's why you see, like, I think recently there is a lady who killed herself in those parts of, I think, Ruiru. The one who threw herself and died. So I think, so it's a sad situation.
It's a menace. It's a disaster.
And I think I remember recently the CS for Interior, Honorable Murkomen, I think they went to Bomas and lodged a report, and they promised there are measures they are going to take to ensure that they are going to curb down that situation of drug abuse in universities.
Right.
Yeah.
I want you to react to this Lil Miner's lyric in one of his songs called Kishash Kobash. The line that specifically says, depression ikikikin mazeni takiban kishash kobash, meaning that young people are going through something that's causing them, because he's Lil Miner and featuring Dovuku in the song Kishash, they're saying depression ikikikin manzeni takiban kishash kobash, meaning that there's something these guys who are going through that's shameful or hurtful, and they can't escape it in their normal self. They have to burn something, which is kishash, but kobash. That's not the context.
So you see, he's saying depression kick in, like when the depression comes in, like of course at a burn kishash. You see,
but kobash, si kwa nyumba.
So
meaning it's a group.
So you see, there are a lot of causes of depression, you know. Maybe you'll find maybe someone, like you see, maybe with campus relationships, maybe someone was heartbroken by his or her partner. So they end up like, kwani unajali. So you see that they're like, well, later to show me. You see, kuna tu hiyo like kwani unajali. So someone thinks it's a solution, but it can't solve anything. The situation will remain. And I think depression is real, and I think maybe even in the university setting they should just organize programs whereby they can maybe active peer counseling sessions, like where they can invite maybe mentors to talk to these people, maybe advise them,
and counselors,
and advise them on how maybe they can tackle this. If you have a problem, approach who and who. I think it will be better. I think the best solution is just to create self-awareness amongst the students in the university setting.
Good point, Austin. Elijah, he's mentioned a good point and I want us to build on it. Maybe in higher learning institutions, they should be, like when you're being admitted day one, maybe you should be taken through a desk where after your parent is gone and they're asking you, uko sawa kweli mentally, home kumekuaje? Like wakusikizie tu rada, wagauge tu wenyewe msee akiendelea kukaa within a month hapa. Kama hana pesa na pesa zijakuwa home, kuna kitu ataingia, aanze kutafuta pesa na si kitu poa. Yeah. So do you feel like maybe, like he said, we need such programs that need to listen and hear out young learners in higher learning institutions? Wasikize tu story yako, jue, enyewe Austin kwenye ametoka kwa hard in an area where it's saline, they've been experiencing some certain hardships and his mentality has adjusted. It's not like a student being admitted from Karen. Totally different people, you know, young, same age, but different mindsets and backgrounds. So when they meet, they totally react differently. Yeah. Do you believe there's a missing gap in terms of platforms that provide safety and assurance for young learners in terms of, yeah, this is what you've been through, but we can possibly help you to adjust like this and that. If it's an issue about money, maybe you can get an extra job and work while you're schooling, other than you finding other, you know, dubious ways to earn money, like being a pedi. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So there is this case whereby a student, a comrade, he comes from high school. He or she has performed very well. So when you come to campus, you know there is a lot of freedom in campus. And when there is a freedom in campus, the student may be an arrest to anatulia. Hata kujua kama kuna kusoma, kuna kufanya nini. So there is these issues of academic pressure.
Yeah, but peer classes hazikuangi Monday to Friday.
Yes, actually, as you kwangi, maybe, but for example, late submission of assignments. Yeah. Maybe lecturer is very strict, so the student end up to take that drugs, maybe for a self-medication, to reduce the pain or to escape the pain. So that is where by now a comrade end up taking that drugs. And then also, maybe we have different kind of people in our campus, maybe poor and the rich comrades. So maybe the poor comrade, actually, when he tried to compare her or himself to another rich guy, actually the comrade end up taking drugs.
Yeah.
Maybe to reduce, they don't even do asikumbuke nini hiyo mambo ya drugs, hiyo mambo ya siju richness kwetu hakuna kitu, let me just drink. Yeah, that is
but nikuulize Elijah, ushaichapa kamnyoso wewe mwenyewe?
No, I haven't.
Elijah.
Sure, for sure. I haven't.
Oh, umekataa haraka sana. But there's usually that temptation of chapaying your first drink.
Yeah,
I'm sure, Austin, you've had it. Kuna kale ka pressure kakuchapa tu kamnyoso in campus, hata kama ulitoka kwa I'd say a priesthood family. Si hata wine iko na alcoholic content bwana. May had people say watoe wine kwa Catholic.
There's this a friend of mine.
Yeah.
We attended the cultural day, during cultural. So this guy is actually a Christian.
Right.
Friend of mine.
Okay.
So alikuwa na Predator. So you know Predator?
Oh, the drink, the energy drink.
Energy
okay.
drink.
Okay.
So rafiki yake mwingine hapo akamwambia, bro, unakunyaje hii bana? Taste hizo bro. Taste bro. Unakunyaje hiyo sasa? Mbona unakunya Morio? Taste this one. So vijana wanasema acha nijaribu. So that's a curiosity. Kwani natasingaje? Hebu nijaribu. Ile ama anaweza anakula hivyo. Ama during commerce wako kwa gym, wanapiga gym yao tu. So kuna jamaa tu ananifulia ananiambia, bwana, do this ndio upige gym ama muscle ukuje. There's a kind of pill unakuja
So you are persuaded in a way that it justifies
the actions. You end up taking that drugs.
Yeah. Maybe we can delve into individual issues that you guys have faced shortly, maybe a minute and then we can close it up. When you find your way into Kirinyaga University, what are the challenges that you went through possibly that you'd say if you are not grounded, they would have pushed you into consuming something to adjust your reality or to shield yourself from the pain? Maybe the problems that you went through when, because you said you're studying, is it?
Kirinyaga Procurement.
Procurement, yeah.
Yes.
And you're in your 4th year.
Yeah.
Meaning you've weathered some storms from 1st year to 4th year.
For sure.
Yeah, maybe possible issues that you went through. Not even possible issues that you went through.
Issues that I went through is just maybe for relationship. That is what I went through.
Yeah, matters of the heart.
Yeah, that deals on matters, because I know I don't drink.
Oh, you don't drink?
I don't.
No, nothing.
So the
only
only
water and porridge.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of relationship.
And milk.
And just milk.
Okay. I love that answer. What about you, Austin? What are some of the issues that you went through that could reflect another, let's say a Gen Z who's about to join uni, could join higher learning institution, hii nayo utapitia. And I've heard most of the issues actually being mentioned here by other guests who are from the University of Nairobi. Like, hiyo ni lazima tu kama comrade utapitia hiyo.
Yeah, of course there is this pressure. You know, alcohol is very available, and even in these functions at school, there's that pressure for you to drink alcohol. I cannot say that I never drank. You see, there's a time I tried. You know, people are making fun of like this alcohol, like county. So you're like, hey, county.
Yeah, by the way, there are memes around it here.
Yeah. So, but but you know, you're taking something, then like, you know, if you are taking something, at least you should enjoy taking it. But you see something is just inakukata tuko like hapana. So
there's some brand of vodka.
Yeah. So just you know, for me, what I did, you know, when I entered that institution, the first thing was like, you know, there are these people you see and you want to be like them, like you want to like to be them to be your mentors. So there are these people I identified. So these are the people who will involve you in active programs. You know, like the time I was a first year, someone is taking you to, let's say, anatuambia tuende games hapo Nyayo Stadium. You know, those are they are just keeping you active.
Kwanza nyinyi mko at the center of the CBD.
Yeah, so you know, every activity like you are almost involved. So I'm
all
like,
the energies. In Nairobi.
Yeah, so I'm told kuja tuende game Nyayo Stadium. See this one, that's why you find like the former leaders who know what the former student leaders who know what is going on in campuses. Like someone like there's a friend called Fred Mokua. Those are the people who will make sure that you are involved in constructive activities, because they know the challenges the comrades are going through in campuses. So for me, I started, you know, I was very passionate for the first time about politics, and I started looking for people who can mentor me in that space. So you will find yourself occupied, but if you just sit there, because if you just sit there, you know, that idleness, now it becomes they say an idle mind is the devil's workshop. Yeah. So you'll just eventually start using these things if you're just there, no one to guide you. So I advise even the young people to look for mentors, those people who will help them, like put them forward. And like just being there, your work is just go to class, and you know, in campus we don't have many lessons, many classes. So what
and
are you?
Especially if you stay at the hostel.
So
you're tempted to do the worst.
So what will you be doing during that free time?
Even like I said, maybe an extra part-time job can help.
But you see, you know, these jobs, where will you get them? So
I'm sure they're available, bro. Remote work. People are writing articles at the comfort of your own laptop and you know, house. But
you know, but for that, see, I think you can see that you still need that someone to guide you there, because if you just sit there, you know, you'll find papers, people putting there that this is the part-time job, make 24,000 weekly, but you know, they take you to someone there in the CBD, in a room somewhere, maybe they're just lying to you, they want you to join their program, and they con you.
They end up scamming you.
So I advise just the young people to look for good mentors, some people who will help them, and I think it will be well.
But kuna issue ya kuinama sana. I had the other students from University of Nairobi, they mentioned it a lot, kukosa pesa. Because there's been also delay of funds, and you know, sometimes parents are not, because there's one who mentioned that when a parent has unleashed you in the hands of a higher learning institution, they don't expect you to be making phone calls constantly. Hey mom, I'm a hey dad, nataka fare, hey dad, nataka up ahead, because they expect, especially if you're a gentleman, they expect that you'll take care of yourself, and in fact most of them are needing help from you. So
Yes.
it's interesting, but we have to close it, Austin, so just say your social media very fast. Elijah
Apparent is my social media.
Elijah Apparent
Okay,
everywhere on social media.
Yeah.
Right, so what about you?
Yeah, for me, I only operate on Twitter, just Austin Wambingwa.
All right.
Yes.
So thank you for sharing your insights. I think maybe we can have a part 2, but later on if it goes through. Karibuni sana, Austin and Elijah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. And thank you too for watching from exactly 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. I'll absolutely see you tomorrow, because I'll be alone again. There's that R&B song that says, anyways, we'll talk about the R&B and music on the radio. So see you tomorrow at Brian Second One at Y254 channel. See you tomorrow.